Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through October 15th, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through October 15th, only at BJ's.
Introducing Carvana Value Tracker, where you can track your car's value over time and learn what's driving it. It might make you excited.
Whoa, didn't know my car was valued this high.
It might make you nervous.
Uh-oh, market's flooded. My car's value just dipped 2.3%.
It might make you optimistic.
Our low mileage is paying off. Our value's up.
And it might make you realistic.
Car prices haven't gone up in a couple weeks. Maybe it's time to sell.
But it will definitely make you an expert on your car's value. Carvana Value Tracker. Visit Carvana.com to start tracking your car's value today.
Well. Shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much...
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Welcome to Gen Exhausted. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
I'm Jess.
We're back. It's a tiny little break. You know, life. A lot of shit going on. Jess was telling me about... I'd heard a little bit about this. Apparently, a plane just went missing over the weekend, like a U.S. military plane. Tell me more.
It was a F-35. It was a $80 million F-35, where the pilot ejected himself and he was safe, and they had no idea. The plane was just flying on autopilot, and they have no idea, or they had no idea where it was. They even came out and asked the public for help. If you see this, I guess hold up a big net. I don't know, like try to catch it.
So
but they ended up
an
finding
$80 million plane doesn't have a GPS. My $500 phone has one.
Yep, they had no idea. It was just gone. They said it was a mishap. The pilot ejected into someone's backyard during a mishap.
Plane just flying on autopilot.
Yeah.
Now, what if the pilot was still in it? They would know where it is. Right? I mean, I'm not a pilot, but is knowing the location of the plane dependent on the pilot being in it? Like, is everything tied to him? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, if he was still in it, they'd be like, hey, we know your position. Now he's not in it. We don't know your position.
And the military can't afford to track the pilot and the plane independent of each other because they don't have ejection seats, so they don't plan in case the pilot needs to eject from the plane. And why would we want to collect the wreckage of a plane plus the pilot? It's only one or the other, right? Come on now. This is... First of all, these are questions. It's like, why are we even asking these questions? Why aren't these questions being addressed right up front in the story?
Why too? So I opened up this article talking about when they found it, because it was just in the pre-show that I saw that they found the crash side of this plane.
And by the way, I just want to, real quick as an aside, I saw something about this story earlier today, but it was through a website that gets recommended, or a page that gets recommended to me through social media that usually has clickbait stuff. And it was like, Air Wing of the United States Marine Corps ordered to stand down. Click for further details. And I'm like, probably some training exercise, no big deal. And I didn't click on it because I thought it was clickbait. And in reality, go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, so it crashed 60 miles from where the pilot ejected. That doesn't seem like it's that far. It seems like am I looking at this wrong? It just went for 60 miles, but they couldn't find it for days?
60 miles to an F-35. That's I'm assuming
minutes.
cruise. cruising speed on autopilot. So probably nothing crazy, not pushing anything, any type, looking for, speed records, but definitely not like.
But hold on here.
Lollygagging, right?
But 60 miles, right? Planes go like 500 miles an hour.
Right. So wouldn't you have seen it going down?
You would think.
That's because I'm just trying to visualize. You're outside, you look up, and there's an airplane, right? And you watch it go across the sky. I watched an airplane go 60 miles, right?
That's what I'm saying. If that thing went 60 miles from where that guy ejected, that means it was in the air for 10 minutes and then crashed at the rates that planes travel.
Okay, so if that plane was in the air for 10 minutes, then why did he eject?
It was a mishap.
Okay.
They aren't answering. They're not saying. It's documented truly. The Marine Corps is handling the investigation, now documented as a Class A mishap.
I'm going to use that in life.
Me too.
A Class A mishap at the kitchen. Don't go in the bathroom. I just had a Class A mishap.
Here, hold on a sec.
Oh wait, no, a Class A.
Class A mishap: property damage of $2 million or greater, injury or illness, fatality, or injury or occupational related illness causing permanent total disability. That's per the Department of Defense Appendix A, mishap classification reporting matrix. I'm looking at the PDF of it. So that means, of course, the plane is what, 80 million, we said, or that they said in the article. So obviously, boom, that qualifies for it. Fatality or injury or occupational related illness causing permanent total disability. Something must have happened to the pilot.
Well, no, because has to happen altogether, right? It's either it caused this much in damages or this happened to this, right? It's just pick one.
Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way.
The way my article reads about it says it defines a Class A mishap that occurs when damages reach 2.5 million or more, a Department of Defense aircraft is destroyed, or someone dies or is permanently disabled.
Okay. And then going by that, then this is because of property damage. Most likely, because I'm sitting here looking at Department of Defense 605507, any non-fatal injury or occupational illness. Long story short, what is considered permanent total disability? Both hands, both feet, both eyes, a combination of any of these two body parts. I think that had been reported as injured, right?
Yes. Yeah, no, he was not.
So excuse me. Well, that actually makes me go back to my first thought. Was this a mental thing? Go ahead.
I don't know. They're not saying any of it.
Well, I mean, a mishap. Okay, so I mean, whatever. Their mishap is because of the property damage. But if he bailed out and it was due to an anxiety attack, he or she bailed out and it was due to an anxiety attack or some sort of mental thing, that's where my red flags start going up, going, what the fuck is going on in the Marine Corps where they're not vetting these pilots to the point where they used to? And I mean, to the point where they would damn near break these pilots because they want to know. We're handing you the keys to a weapon that can take out a lot of people before we could get it down out of the fucking sky. We want to make sure we're handing it to someone who's all there. Someone bails out because of a mental health issue. I'm going to start questioning what's going on in the military. And this ain't coming out of the blue. We've talked about it before, how much bullshit the military has been fucking bending and over backwards because it's an all voluntary military. They're trying to get people to sign up. Sure. Bring your fucking bring your what is it? Your comfort animal or whatever the fuck to boot camp. Yeah, we don't give a shit.
Or here are your stress cards. Just lay that down and no one can yell at you.
That was a real thing over 20 years ago. I mean, we've evolved well past that. That's probably seen as corporal punishment at this point. I'm not joking. I've worked with people who think that picking up something that weighs 5 pounds is physical labor, and will argue that point. And I'm just going, this is telling me you never worked physical labor. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
No, I work with a kid. He's a nice kid. He's a good kid. He's a good worker. He's in the reserves. He's infantry. He is a hunk of meat, just saying. But, he's an industrious hunk of meat.
You just mean like he's chunky?
No, he's just, he'll never be a manager. I'm trying to be nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so what are you good at? I pick things up and I set them down.
Pretty much.
Oh, so you're really good at that. I pick things up and I set them down. Okay, we have a job for you. Go over there and do that job, please.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Hey, whatever. You know what?
He's good at getting orders and carrying them out. Hey, infantry. Beautiful.
Well, I mean, hey. Not everyone is going to be marked for command or senior NCO. So, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, you need some enlisted guys,
Hey, my dad got the 4th class petty officer. I get it.
You could be a Lance. Yeah, you could be a Lance Corporal and spend like 4 or 5 years in the Marines and then get out. But I think you're going to have to be a full corporal. You have to be an NCO if you want to stay in after that. But anyways, yeah, once again, very sidetracked off this. But yeah, that's my mind goes to, I want to know what happened. If it's a health thing, okay, it's a health thing. Say it. If it's a mental health thing, that's a different story, man. And by the way, if it's a health thing, do you know how picky they are? For an all-volunteer service, do you understand how picky the military is? And this was in the 90s. I mean, bad teeth, they could be like, nah, we're good. We don't feel like putting $40,000 worth of work into your mouth in boot camp. We're good.
According to AP News, this is their wording on it, the U.S. Marine Corps pilot was flying a single-seat F-35B fighter jet on Sunday when the pilot experienced a malfunction and was forced to eject.
See, and knowing how much bullshit and how many layers of fucking doublespeak is in this, when the pilot experienced a malfunction.
Right.
So what malfunctioned on the pilot? And for those going, well, why would they refer to the pilot like he's a piece of they are a piece of property? Because you are when you sign up. You become United States government property. Period. End of fucking story.
Yeah, once they say the plane had a malfunction.
You see what okay. God damn it. Thank you. People listen. People actually fucking start paying attention. Yes, exactly. It's exactly it. Exactly. That's how the military gets you. That's how the fucking media gets you. They're going to be like, we'll just say the pilot experienced malfunction. Wait, what? What happened with the pilot? Because if it happened to the plane, you just said plane had a malfunction.
Right. System malfunction, something.
Here's the scary part. What bothers me is that most people would hear this story and just go, in one ear, out the other, and not even fucking question any of this. And the fact that now $80 million the taxpayers get to eat. I'm sorry. If I caused fucking $8,000 worth of damage due to me driving around like an asshole locally, you see where I'm going with this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No more plane insurance for this guy. No more planes for you.
Well, not only that, but you need to be like, if it was some sort of mental thing and it was, he basically just fucking, or she, they, whatever, snapped, okay, we'll get you the help you need outside of the military. You damn sure are never flying again. And I mean, at that point, and you know how I am about this, I'd almost be like, you might want to look into whether they can own a gun the rest of their fucking life also. I mean, if they're that cavalier with that level of weaponry, how cavalier are they going to be with a 9mm or a 40 cal?
That's a solid point. But I'm still stuck on, like, hear me out. Since the 90s, we've been able to be like, check this out. We could put this bomb through this elevator shaft of this apartment building. But you lost a fucking you couldn't find an $80 million plane? There's a lot of questions there.
Yeah.
Again, the plane that you would know where it was if the pilot was in it. Like, how does the pilot leaving it make you not know where it is?
It's under investigation. That's all they keep saying. Under investigation. No comment.
Yeah, right. Go back to bed, America. Your government is in control.
They're paying attention. It's fine. They're investigating. They've classified the mishap now.
Hey, here's non-gender bathrooms. Argue over this.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Oh, well, something that happened here, because, that reminded me of something. Okay, perfect segue into and what you said reminded me of it, Chris, was, $80 million plane, just fucking bites the dust and taxpayers eat that. Whatever, non-gendered bathrooms, argue over this. Isn't that what the government is amazing at doing? Because we just had, the 22nd anniversary of 9/11 go by, and surprisingly low key from what I saw personally. I guess we're to the point where if it's not like in multiples of 5 or 10, we're not going to make a big deal about it. Is that where we're at, Chris? You think?
Yeah. Do you know this was the first 9/11 where the president did not visit the crash site?
There you go. See? So, yeah, 25th anniversary. I bet you whoever's president is going to be there. And then 30th anniversary, on and on. Well, anyways, but it reminded me of the fact that, $3 billion turned up missing from the Pentagon on 9/11. And the Pentagon got hit where supposedly all this, because this was 2001, and for the uninitiated, first of all, while you're listening to this podcast, if you're so young, I have to explain that this was a analog world at that time. So where the Pentagon was hit was where they kept those records supposedly gone. Oh well, $3 billion just turns up missing. And people are like, that's why they bombed the Pentagon. And all the usual 9/11 conspiracy shit come out, this year. Like it does every year around 9/11. But I was just thinking, it's amazing because the first thing the government did was come out and say, that's a conspiracy theory. No, it's not. It's reality. $3 billion turned up fucking missing. That's a fact.
Right.
Okay? That's not a conspiracy theory. What they're saying is the people making those accusations, some of them are saying that it wasn't a plane, it was a missile. Or there was no missile, it was a bomb in the Pentagon, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, but once again, you have to listen to what they say. That's a conspiracy theory. You didn't specify. And I'm just watching this happen, and I'm just watching people get lost in the minutia of that argument and losing sight of the fact that $3 billion disappeared.
I think it was 2.3 trillion.
It couldn't have been. If it was that fucking high in 2001, that number would have stuck out in Chris's head, in my head. Trillion in 2001. Chris, did government ever talk about spending $1 trillion back in 2001 that you can remember?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So if the number has gone up, are they adjusting for inflation?
Let's see. I'm already on enough lists, so I don't even care. Money missing Pentagon 2001. Jess is correct on this one, buddy.
Because no one knew about it. They made this announcement about it late evening September 10th, and then 9/11 happened, so no one was talking, obviously, about trillions of dollars that went missing.
I was muted. And here you go. I'm about to prove my point. No one was talking about Chandra Levy after 9/15 on 9/11 2001. Do you know who that is?
No.
Gary Condit's
there you go.
Mistress.
There you go.
However, buried he was, I believe, exonerated and all. Allegedly, some guy admitted to it. Some rant guy who was killing randos came out and admitted to it. It was lost years later. Condit was cleared of all that shit.
But the point was,
or they found someone to clear him. You know what I mean?
The point was, before that plane hit the fucking first Twin Tower, it wasn't about whether he did or not. It was about the sensationalism of the story. That story fell off the front page real quick and got buried. And that's what I'm saying. How it turned out. I don't think probably 5 other people that I asked about that would be of our age and were paying attention at that time would be like, yeah, I don't even know how that turned out. How did that turn out? The media is great at that. Now, whether that's on purpose or that's just a byproduct of them trying to chase headlines, if it bleeds, it leads type shit, I'll let other people debate that for the time being. But this is what I'm saying. People, pay attention. Listen to shit. Listen to what they're not telling you. God damn it, if you sat down at a fucking poker table and it was a $10 buy-in, you would be paying more attention than you're paying to people who are playing with with a fuck ton of a lot more than $10 of your goddamn money and your life. You really want to fucking get, I guess you can call it hyperbolic about it, but is it really? Okay, ran over. We can go back to inane bullshit.
I'm fact-checking another tidbit. I'll have to save it for another day. I can't find what I'm looking for. Anyway.
I was reading about this $2.3 trillion. It allegedly wasn't lost. It's from when the U.S. government was converting to to computers, and there was $2.3 million in transactions that they couldn't account for.
Oh, so Michael Bolton and them struck him, and then they took the printer out with the baseball bat. Well, damn, it feels good to play a gangster played in the background. That's the plot of fucking Office Space.
Yep.
Are you fucking serious? Well, we just lost trillions of dollars going from analog to digital. They just disappeared. Did someone misplaced the decimal? That's Office Space. I'm done. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. Go back to bed, America. Your government has it all figured out. And here's the scary part. If they aren't trying to fucking repurpose that fucking narrative from Office Space, then they're that dumb. Either way, you should be terrified and fucking outraged. Now the rant's over. Back to your inane bullshit.
Now, you can find the video of the guy talking about it on September 10th. You can find the video of him saying that, there's $2.3 trillion that is currently unaccounted for.
On September 10th.
Yes.
And my point still stands. It was years later when internet conspiracy theorists made videos about the money that turned up missing from the Pentagon.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, I know that if you were you weren't paying attention back, I'm not saying you in particular, Jess, I'm just saying if people weren't paying attention back then, that wasn't something that was brought up immediately after 9/11. That wasn't even something that was brought up within a year or two of 9/11, at least in the fucking circles I traveled in, and I got some really up their own ass conspiracy theory friends. Like, didn't land on the moon type people. So I'd have heard it. I truly believe I'd have heard it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this wasn't some shit that was, it doesn't matter. Whatever.
So my little, just because 9/11 got brought up, and I like little interesting factoids about 9/11. Do you know how they identified who was flying the plane for the World Trade Center?
No.
Which plane?
It's just one of them. This is how one of the pilots was identified. A passerby found his passport a few blocks from where the World Trade Center was and turned it in to NYPD detective shortly before the towers collapsed.
I've never heard shortly before, but one of the pilot's paperwork being found in a condition that people were like, that looks... Jet fuel can melt steel beams, but it can't fucking melt a passport wallet?
A paper passport. Paper. And why would someone, because it was how long between the Twin Towers being hit and them falling? Like...
I don't know off the top of my head anymore. That shit's all turned into white noise, because here's the deal.
A couple hours. I think like they were hit at like 8. They were both in rubble by like 10.
What are we talking about? Those two towers or the other buildings that went down?
Right, no, just those two towers. Just staying focused on what the main stage was on, what we were supposed to be looking at. You're going to tell me there was just a New Yorker out strolling who saw a passport laying on the ground in all of this debris and picked it up and just found a detective and was like, here, I discovered this. And he's like, that's who was flying this shit.
Jess, here's the deal. Everyone who lived through it, who remembered and was like anywhere where it was like, I was at Detroit Metro Airport when the fucking first plane hit the first building.
Oh Jesus, you were at an airport when that happened?
Yes,
dude.
I was leaving the airport, and as I was pulling out, security guards said, "You better go because we're locking the entire fucking place down. A second plane just hit the World Trade Center.
Oh,
go!"
Damn.
And I was like, what? In that fucking GM car I was in, because I was handling the media fleet at the time. We were retrieving cars that had been left there by executives who had flown back out of town. So, yeah. I mean, like, they didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I watched the shit for 5-6 hours at work, like everybody else did probably that day, glued to the TV, and I heard so many conflicting reports, and my entire job heard the conflicting reports, but no one will fucking tell you what they heard except for what they want to remember these days. I'm done with it, Jess.
Well,
I'm done with it.
My whole point to this too, I'm not making any claims one way or another about 9/11. Just the stories and how the information is gathered and what we go with, like how the news is presented to us and how things are not like clarified later on if maybe something else came out. Because on this, I mean, it's a Wikipedia page, but the same thing is soon after the attacks that several people claimed that some of the men who were named as hijackers were still alive and they could have had their identities stolen. So let's say that this person was ground zero and fled whenever the Twin Towers got hit, dropped their wallet. That could have been anyone's passport that could have been laying there. But to grab it and just say, nope, that's who was flying the plane. What the what? And why? You know? You see what I'm saying?
I absolutely see what you're saying. But like I said, you can't have this conversation with anybody. You can't. You can't. You cannot ask questions at this point. Flat out, period. End of fucking discussion. And I'm like, really? And this isn't me saying this. This is me just going, I'm tired of fighting people and fighting that losing battle going, wait a minute. I'm not saying this person's right with their conspiracy fucking theory. And I'm not saying this person's right because they're going off a report that happened literally 10 minutes after the plane slammed into the fucking building when no one knew what the fuck was going on. Okay? But I'm not going to fucking demonize them for asking questions. And that's what I'm told I have to do to be a good house Negro. Yeah, and I'm tired of it.
The one question you're not supposed to ask is how come the most secure building on the fucking planet, there is no footage of that plane hitting the Pentagon? Have you seen it? I've never seen it. Is it floating around on 4chan? Like, there's multiple angles of the Twin Towers, but again, the most secure building in the world, no video footage of this happening. I've always found that a little peculiar.
There you go. Once again, if this wasn't some fuckery because somebody was trying to get away with some shit, okay, and this is just incompetence, either way, why is one better than the other? Why is one okay? Why are we not rioting in the streets, dragging these people out of their fucking offices and replacing them? Because they're criminals. They're criminally negligent, or hit them with the RICO predicates. That's what the fuck they're doing to Trump, right?
Well, I mean, we had the Attorney General flat out lie, in my opinion, earlier this week. He's being grilled by Congress, and Merrick Garland said, there is not one set of laws for the powerful and another for the powerless, one for the rich, another for the poor, one for Democrats, another for Republicans, or different rules depending on one's race, ethnicity, or religion. Is he serious? He lives in the United States, right?
See, now if he'd just remind people, I know it's been like around a decade, maybe not that long. This was Obama's nominee for the Supreme Court when he was a lame duck president. And the Biden rule came and bit the Democrats back in the ass. Now he's in an appointed position in the Biden administration. Am I correct?
Yeah, he's the Attorney General.
To where he didn't, but what I'm saying is the scrutiny on the Attorney General is almost nil when they're given the job compared to the public fucking mudslinging and dragging out of every skeleton in every closet they can find of a Supreme Court nominee. Mm-hmm. If he'd actually fucking said something like that fucking ridiculously stupid while he was trying to get fucking approved for the Supreme Court, but instead, now he's the Attorney General.
It's the first thing I thought of was like, buddy, there's a Dave Chappelle skit about that. About how there's one legal system if you got money and there's one if you don't. And if you can stand here and you can tell me to my face in the United States that is not true, you're being intellectually dishonest.
Then I want whoever claims that, them and every family member they ever fucking have, whoever has to go to court and requires a lawyer, they either have to, A, in a civil court, represent themselves, or B, in a criminal court, they have to take the public defender. You'll hear their tune change. You're going to tell me a public defender is going to do the same job as a paid lawyer?
Hell no.
But
public defenders also usually someone like right out of law school who's new to being, they're getting their practice in. They're getting in reps at being a lawyer, for starters.
These are the people that work in law and the government. Yeah,
and that's the nation's top attorney.
Good guys. These are quote unquote good guys, Chris.
Yeah. That's the nation's
They're in the
top
good
attorney.
team. That out of fucking touch. That's something I expect to hear from fucking Dan Quayle in 2023. Like they dig him out of whatever fucking senior citizen fucking community he's tucked away in, slap him in the consciousness and stick a mic in his face. I would expect that to come out of a damn near 1 foot in God's waiting room, the other foot in our world, Dan Quayle.
Is he still alive?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He's got to be like 80 now, right? Yeah, he didn't die. Oh, we'd have heard if he died. In today's world, oh, Jesus, they'd have memed the fuck out of it. They're going to meme the fuck out of it when he dies.
It's true.
Zoomers are going to find out he couldn't spell potato, and it's going to be done and over with.
Or there's probably Zoomers out there to be like, what? How do you spell it wrong?
Yeah, there might be that too. But
we are now in a world that caves to the stupid. If you say something wrong long enough, they just make it it's now the correct pronunciation. But anyway, what else? We somehow ended up in a 9/11 conspiracy hole.
Well, my whole point is, once again, just you can't even ask questions, and I'm not even asking questions. I'm just listening to people ask questions in good faith and be called every fucking name in the book but a child of God. And because I don't join in from the sidelines, I'm being told I'm just as bad or worse than them. So yeah, that's what's like, really? That's what passes for discourse at this point. I say this all the time. Like, people who fucking deny the fact that corporate greed will end up with people's heads on fucking pikes sometime, at some point. That's just how it's going to end. It's either going to be the people getting fucking fucked over by the corporate greed, or the people who overrun the corporate greed security and put the corporate fucking, the greedy fucking CEOs puts their head on spike. It's how it's always ended. Just denial of reality. Like, we have the same legal system. It's all the same. There's no difference. We're just going to deny reality to each other. Okay. And then once again, that you can't ask questions. What are we allowed to do?
Go along with the narrative.
Yeah. Keep your head down and your mouth shut.
I mean, truly and honestly, that's all we're being trained for.
Chris, when we were kids, remember how we would hear what it was like in Russia, Cuba?
Yes, the pictures that were painted for us.
Wasn't it pretty much they have to do what they're told, keep their head down, their mouth shut, and keep working? Okay, well, cool. I'm not a fan of communism, but if the end result is the same under whatever the fuck we're doing here, I'm not for whatever the fuck we're doing here. Mm-hmm. My thing is, we are so far beyond where fucking we could even imagine where we would be 50 years ago. It's where I'm just like, this is out of control this is just an out of control bull, man.
Well, I think the difference between what you're talking about and us is we're doing it. We're making it self-regulatory. We're making it where we're doing it to ourselves. Russia and Cuba and these places, it was the government doing it to the people. Here, it's the people doing it to the people.
But I mean, let's be honest here. If the government wants it done, they should call up fucking Facebook. Hey, there's going to be some fucking stories coming out about Biden's kid and the laptop. You want to fucking... we're already on that, Mr. President. Don't worry about that.
Oh, yeah.
We got that taken care of.
Trust me, that came out. Trust me, I screamed about... one of the few things I got passionate about on this program. I was screaming about it, and it came out with the Twitter files. Nobody cares. The stuff that the Trump administration was being accused of for years was being done by both of them. But it's being done more nefariously by another side. And yeah, good times. Just proof that the First Amendment's being violated. Nobody cares.
No, because the First Amendment is freedom of speech. Ugh, that's cringe. That's cringe as fuck. That's big boomer energy right there. That's all they had to do. That's all they had to do. The only hope you have is that whatever generation comes after Zoomers don't buy into that shit wholesale. That's it. That's all you can do. Like, I have no idea how people celebrate their rights being taken away from them. But here we are. And it's been this way for a decade now. And I mean, it's been blatantly this way. People celebrating other people being silenced simply because they don't like them. One of the things I've never done on this, I go through the fucking files. They're all there, almost 10 years of them. You're more than welcome to. ChristopherMedia.net. Knock yourself out, motherfuckers. I don't think I've said, I wish this motherfucker would shut up, but I don't think I've ever been like, the government needs to step in and shut this person up. This corporation needs to step in and shut this person up, take away their platform. Find it. And if I said it, I'll apologize for saying it, because I can't imagine a situation where I've ever fucking cheered that on. Yeah, that is literally the average person. They cheer that shit on these days. And that's not exclusive to a side either. So all your political tribalism, if you're listening and it starts clicking and you get that lizard part of your brain going, you can turn that fucking shit off. This is everybody.
Yep.
Being done right in front of our faces. Nobody gives a shit because the right people are controlling the right modes.
I really don't think that's it. The more that I reflect on it, I really think that it is that people are just so overwhelmed with everything. Everything's just sprung on us, and it's, I blank whenever I think of all of the things, whatever it was that was so much that led up to aliens, and everyone's just like, don't fucking care. Do I get out of work tomorrow? Then I don't care. Everyone is just so overrun with open Google News. Tell me how many crises. What are the things that are going to affect you overall, not today, but maybe in the future? The housing crisis, the food costs, the electricity crisis, and we might run out of electricity this winter, guys. We don't know. Maybe doing brownouts, have alternative ways of heating. Like, it's never ending. A fucking jet went missing, and both of y'all were like, eh. I mean, I was too. I'm not calling you guys out on it.
I didn't even really know the details till tonight.
Oh no, absolutely. Because you know what? Here's the fucked up part, and maybe Chris can back me up on this. I don't know. Chris, you never seemed like you really paid a lot of attention to military stuff, but it seems like 30 years ago it had just been like, yeah, we lost the jet in the training exercise. Everybody's okay. It was just property damage. Blah blah blah. The proper follow up procedures with pilot and everybody involved are that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
This is just like, you reported. What did you report? What do we know? It went missing. The pilot ejected for some reason, and for approximately 10 minutes it flew and then crashed. Anything else? It's worth $80 billion. Oh, okay. Or million, excuse me. Like, okay, cool. That's not a news story. It's a blurb. Hey, stand by for more incoming information on said story. Remember when that would be the opener of a breaking news, Chris? They would no one would ever go to print with that as the story.
Dude, journalism, as we were trained on it, is done. It's over. It's that boomer news. Answering the 5 W's. You don't do that anymore. You could.
That's
someone else could scoop you if you take time to answer all of those 5 W's, Rich. Someone else could be first.
Doesn't matter about being that. It's just like, I don't care about the truth. I just want to win. All right, that's not what I want, but okay. What do you do? How do you argue with someone like that? They just told you up front. All they care about is winning. They don't care about getting to the truth. They don't care about solving any problems. They care about winning. At that point, why engage with them?
I don't.
Yeah.
All right, well, anything? Oh, Bobo.
Yeah.
Giving out some heavy petting above the clothes. Did they fucking get the video to did they get the Super Troopers on the video and they were like, enhance, and they got that motherfucker in H-Def and she actually had his dude's fucking willy out.
Not sure if the hog was out, but I mean, definitely was getting a handy over the clothes.
Yeah, there was some. Would you like a special dance in the VIP going on in his fucking lap? That's for damn sure.
Hey, and she brought the girls, so good for him.
Wait a minute, did she actually pop her top, or did he just feel her up through her shirt?
No, but have you seen the top she was wearing?
I think I saw the dress. It was like a tan dress, like when she was getting escorted out. Am I thinking, or is it a different shot of her? By the way, I've seen more shots of her in the last 24 hours than I have in the previous fucking however many years she's been in the public eye.
Right. Since 2018, I think.
Hold on, I'm gonna.
Oh no. She broke up with him.
Hey, he got what he needed.
Okay. Oh yeah. She had them. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. The security footage from above. Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah. The security guard was like, "Yo, follow that bitch."
Like he got to grope those. He got a handy over the All right. Cool. See ya.
Okay. This is what I've heard. Political. Tribal retardation at its best. The same people who I heard for the last 25 years now It was just a blow job. It was between two consensual adults. It had no effect on him governing. You need to move on and get the fuck over it. These people, this is horrendous.
Yep.
She needs to be fucking removed from office. We need to look into criminal charges because there were children in that theater. And I'm like, okay, now, are you going to look into those charges because there were children in that theater before or after you go to Drag Queen Story Hour at the Children's Library?
Right.
And yeah,
You cocksucking motherfucking hypocrite.
well, yeah, and the fun thing I want to say to these people too is, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Remember that guy? So if it's in the Oval Office, it's cool, but if it's in a theater during Beetlejuice, that's your line.
I mean, okay, and she did 3 things that were cardinal sins to do in that theater. She got all Alanis Morissette, You Ought to Know. She vaped, and she whipped out a camera and took a selfie. In order of least offensive to most offensive, giving the over the clothes handy, vaping in the theater, and the most egregious sin is taking the selfie. For that, she should be fucking like taken out back and like punished severely while wearing black leather and possibly a ball gag.
I feel you just incorporated a Lauren Boebert fantasy.
I'll be honest with you. She a butterface from hell, but I mean, her body's. And then I look at, she's like all of 5 foot, dude. Have you ever fucked a little 5 foot demon with a body like that? I'm telling you.
Yes. No, it's,
okay.
Me and another podcast partner were talking about it. Hey, she was like, hey, you want to go have some drinks and see what happens? I wouldn't say no, but it should be a good time. TLDR, like I said, TLDR as far as, you know. Hey, I'm getting a handy
butterface. I hit it from the back. I'm okay with that. She had some junk in the trunk. But here's the thing. Like, is this a got you moment? Is this what passes for a got you moment in politics these days? Doesn't matter what bullshit nonsense fucking bill you support. Doesn't matter how many fucking raises you vote for yourself. Doesn't matter how many people you rip off in your fucking congressional district. No. Are you getting freaky in Beetlejuice?
Yeah. Well, vaping.
Why are they so focused on the vaping? Who cares?
Because it's, oh God. They successfully from like my parents' generation to my generation, they successfully made it. Smoking was something that like upper class, white class professionals did, blah, 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 to low class people do. And they are trying to frame vaping the same way, because vaping was seen at first as a safer alternative, right? Less harmful, all these other things. And it is. And the overwhelming majority of information they've gotten off of studies back that up to this point. So what are they doing? It's low class. White trash vape. That's who vape. You want to be white trash?
I mean, yes. Actually.
But I'm just, what are the accusations thrown at her all the time by the people who hate her? She's a shill. She's a grifter. She's playing to middle American white trash. She's leaning into the stereotype. This is what middle America thinks is hot. And I'm just like, no, she got big tits and kind of a juicy ass, and she's like 5 foot, so you could throw her around in bed. I think pretty much anybody with a dick who's straight would think that's kind of hot. That's just me, though.
Yeah. Don't just limit it to the middle of the country. Don't leave the guys in the coast out.
And if we want to take this international, I know she would do well on the continent of Africa. Okay, I'm just saying. She'd
be a queen somewhere. Yes.
Yes. So yeah, I think it's hilarious, and I'm just like, oh, there we go. And this is the got you. This is what, like I said, this is in all the political corners of the internet that I poke my head in from time to time. This is one of those stories that made me go poke my head into those cesspools, and it's just arguing back and forth. And well, Clinton got a blowjob. Well, she gave a handy. Well, Trump fucked a porn star. Well, not Bush cheated. Mrs. Bush killed somebody drunk drive. And I'm just like, what this is it. This is political discourse. This is the people driving the political discourse in this country. This is the level of it.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through October 15th, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through October 15th, only at BJ's.
Introducing Carvana Value Tracker, where you can track your car's value over time and learn what's driving it. It might make you excited.
Whoa, didn't know my car was valued this high.
It might make you nervous.
Uh-oh, market's flooded. My car's value just dipped 2.3%.
It might make you optimistic.
Our low mileage is paying off. Our value's up.
And it might make you realistic.
Car prices haven't gone up in a couple weeks. Maybe it's time to sell.
But it will definitely make you an expert on your car's value. Carvana Value Tracker. Visit Carvana.com to start tracking your car's value today.
Well, well, well. Shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much...
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.
Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through October 15th, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through October 15th, only at BJ's.
Introducing Carvana Value Tracker, where you can track your car's value over time and learn what's driving it. It might make you excited.
Whoa, didn't know my car was valued this high.
It might make you nervous.
Uh-oh, market's flooded. My car's value just dipped 2.3%.
It might make you optimistic.
Our low mileage is paying off. Our value's up.
And it might make you realistic.
Car prices haven't gone up in a couple weeks. Maybe it's time to sell.
But it will definitely make you an expert on your car's value. Carvana Value Tracker. Visit Carvana.com to start tracking your car's value today.
Well, well, well. Shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much...
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Take it low, girl, take it low. We can even do it slow. We can even do it slow. Take it where you wanna go. Either way you wanna go. Bring that ass to the floor. Hot something, move something, shake your tail feather.
Well, hey, if we want to speak about it getting even lower, let's pick on the other side now. I believe the Senate just changed their dress code because, what's his name? John Fetterman? I would say Wayne Fetterman, but I think that's a comedian. Just ever since he got out of the hospital for his little mental thing he had going on, he doesn't want to wear a shirt and a tie anymore. So now on the Senate floor, board shorts, flip-flops, but it's fucking casual day all day now on the Senate floor. Meanwhile, by the way, their staffers all still have to abide by the old dress code, which is like, if you're an intern, it's still suit and tie for you, but the boss can roll in a hoodie and shorts. Idiocracy was supposed to be 500 years in the future, guys.
It didn't bother me. Like, it obviously, stuck in your craw a lot more than mine up until that last bit. That shit, that's just more rules for me, or rules for thee, not for me.
No, I think that you...
Time for guillotines. Sorry,
there should be a level of professionalism. There should be a freaking level of professionalism.
Well, yeah, too. Also, it's like, right, hey, it's a job, right? You got the job. Now there's a dress code for the job. Like, right? I couldn't just walk into any job I had before. Like, I had a corporate job. I couldn't just walk in one day and jorts and a fucking wife beater and be like, I don't feel like wearing khakis and a shirt with collar anymore. They'd be like, well, then you're fucking fired.
Right. There's so many jobs that have a dress code. So many. And to say, to be our nation's representatives, maybe just be dressed for it. Don't a hoodie and shorts.
Why is it okay for the elected officials to walk around dressed however they want, but their staffers have to fucking dress? They have to go to Men's Warehouse and like the way they look. But this douchebag can roll out of bed into a fucking hoodie that he's wiped his fucking nut off on the night before, and that's fine.
It's that fucking mental fucking health shield that people can throw up. I think people abuse that shit.
That's the new religion. I mean, has everybody just accepted that the reality of that yet? Or are there people still fighting that on this podcast? That mental health is our new religion.
It's a scapegoat.
It doesn't matter. What was religion?
Well, you're asking the wrong person that one.
But I maintain your local church, your local community is a different religious experience than fucking Jimmy Swaggart on goddamn Sunday morning television.
Well, that's fair.
Same fucking thing.
No, it's very much so. Everything. Mental health has been so diluted that now everyone is, I mean, I get distracted sometimes, so that's my ADHD, and it puts a strain on me, everything. I feel a little blue sometimes, so that's my depression. And there's people who really, really struggle with things, and I don't think that should be just as diluted as it is. Everything's just very fucking diluted.
It goes back to, well, I'm neurodivergent,
yeah.
Okay? Well, if everyone is neurodivergent, what are you diverging from? Because the baseline, benchmark, is you and your fellow non-divergent, whatever the fuck.
Neurotypical.
But when authors get up their own ass, we call them on it. Can Jesus God, can people stop getting up their own ass about every fucking thing? You bitch at your husband if he leaves his underwear on the fucking floor. It doesn't mean you have OCD. It doesn't mean you're a borderline personality. It just means you're a bitchy cunt. That's it. That's all. You're not special because you get bothered by that. You get mad because someone cuts you off in the fucking on the way to work. Guess what, homie? You don't have rage issues. That's the fucking normal reaction when someone fucking does something like that to you. It doesn't. That's what irritates me. That's what dilutes it. Because now when I hear someone say I have a legit condition, you know what I think? No, you don't, and I don't give a fuck if you do. Because here's the deal. Your fucking legit condition is probably going to be a lot quieter than this fucking cocksucker over here who's making a big fucking show of his fake one.
Yeah, it's another way for people to put themselves on the cross.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. Fucking chronic pain. If you live in chronic pain, you can spot another motherfucker in chronic pain. They got tells like fucking Malkovich and Rounders. Okay, you can spot them a mile away. But you can also spot the people who are bullshitting. And you hate them motherfuckers with every goddamn bit of fucking fiber in your being. Because them motherfuckers are the reason your life is a fucking miserable piece of shit every time you have to ask for any type of help with any fucking thing because of your fucking life and your fucking chronic pain. So yeah, fuck these people and their bullshit.
Yeah.
Can't follow that rant.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. What are parents supposed to do? Let's say you have a kid. You notice your kid show the classic, like at a very young age, the classic signs of autism, showing them. I'm not scared my kid's autistic if I'm a parent. It ain't fucking 30, 40 years ago, okay? And it ain't 100 years ago where they're going to say, he's demon possessed. Let's drill a hole in his head and let the demon out. Science. No. Okay? I'm terrified of, I don't want to put my kid anywhere near a group of so-called other autistic kids. Because they're probably just going to be fucking douchebag kids with parents who are like, my kid's autistic because my kid needs to be special. I don't want my kid learning that that's what autism is. That the world's going to bend over and fucking do everything special for you. Because that's not how the world fucking works. The world does not make accommodations for you. You have to find your way in the world. That's reality.
I feel what you just said has been lost in like 2 generations.
There are universal truths. And when you get up your own ass with the fucking... with everything's a social construct. We create our own reality. I am whatever I say I am. No, the fuck you're not. You're not, dude. If I take you up to the top of a 5-story building and I chuck you off it, I don't care how much you wish, you think, you want, you identify as someone who's going to survive that, you're going to die.
Identify as a survivor.
But this is scary, dude, because you can't tell people that these days. They don't believe you. The problem is they're not jumping off of buildings head first to try to prove us wrong. That would clear up the gene pool real quick. I'm in favor of that. Instead, they want to stick around and tell you how wrong that you are, but they'll never do anything to try to prove you wrong. They say you're wrong. That's all that matters. Because my reality is whatever I say it is.
Yeah.
Postmodernism, isn't it great?
It's all a grand delusion.
I mean, but if that's the truth, and that's the reality, let's say these people are right. What's to stop us from just doing whatever the fuck we want? If there's no moral truth, if murder is just murder, it's not good nor bad. It just is. You have what I want. I want it. I can physically take it from you. And if you try to stop me, I can end your life. You can't win. So that's mine now. Why would I not do that?
That's breaking one of the commandments. That's coveting.
We're not talking about it. We're talking about people who just, no. Reality is individual to yourself. Your truth is your reality. Who are you to impose your reality on me? But you better use my pronouns. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Those are just called selfish assholes.
Gee, let's just make fun of shit. I'm sorry. I don't want to think anymore. I'm done. I don't know. Sorry.
Alrighty.
No, I was dead serious. I don't want to think anymore. This shit is just fucking maddening, dude. There's no rhyme or reason to any of this shit when you fucking put it under a microscope. And it's driving me nuts.
It's people wanting you to participate in their lie.
I just don't understand it, dude.
I think I smoke so much weed. Well, you're starting to smoke so much weed, so you get it.
I mean, and it's not just one side. It's not a side. It's not people I disagree with or agree with. It's just people, man. It's just like, here's what I wanted to ask you guys. I teased it in the pre-show, but there's a term that gets thrown around almost every day, no matter where you go, what your fucking particular algorithm bubble is. You have to hear it at least once a day. And I want your definitions of the word, because I don't think our definitions of the word and the world's definition, by world I mean internet's definition, is the same. That's woke. What's your definition of woke?
Just hard left.
Yeah, I guess that would be the easiest way to sum it up.
All right, because, see, to me, woke it was a term that's been co-opted. But I mean, fine, we'll go with what it's being used for now. To me, woke is the type of idea we need representation. People go, "Oh, that's woke." No, not really. I get it. If a certain percentage of people are black, female, gay, whatever the fuck, then yeah, art should probably reflect that. But But woke is no, we need hard and fast rules. And we're going to implement them at the cost of, we're going to take from one group to give to another group. Why are we acting like there's only so much pie? That's, you know what I'm saying? The thought process behind what really woke is just, to me, it's taken from, like I said, taken from groups of people, giving it to other people and going, that's equality. And if you have a problem with it, we have a built-in system to silence you. Whether it's public shaming, whether it's being deplatformed, whatever the fuck. Do you get what I'm saying? The concept of woke. You guys say hard left. Give me some fucking, what is it? If you watch a movie and you see a gay couple, but that's not their defining trait. They're just a gay couple in the movie, and it's really not even fucking focused on and brought up, and they have other character development in that movie. I know a lot of people go, that's woke. That's not woke to me. That's not pushing an agenda. That's just fucking, hey, there's gay people in the world, and yeah, guess what? Sometimes they get in relationships, and
Well, here, I'll give you an example. I don't know how often you run across commercials, but when you pay for or don't pay for the level of streaming services I pay for, you see some every now and then. If you just base society on what you saw in commercials, there's no white men. Commercials now, it's all minorities and women. There are no white dudes in commercials.
Yes. Woke is, in my mind, diversity for the sake of diversity, even if it's detrimental to the overall fucking cause. That's the mindset behind, we're going to, studies and polls show that the young folks are into this diversity inclusivity thing. So let's start being diverse and inclusive. But we don't really know what that is because we're not young people. Let's ask young people. What's Twitter say? And do I need to fucking take you down that rabbit hole to know what we end up with? Get rid of all the white males?
Right.
That's what I'm like. People would go, the company's woke. The company isn't woke. The company's just full of dumbasses who don't know what the fuck they're doing. The company went to the fucking woke crew and was like, yo, what do we need to do to make you happy?
Another example was the stunt Budweiser pulled earlier this year. Like, you dummies, do you not know who drinks your beer? Are you not aware of what events you sponsor?
If I was sitting in that meeting, I'd have been like, doesn't matter, trans, whatever the fuck. Alcoholics drink our beer. If you offend alcoholics, they'll just go to another equally cheap beer, which there's a lot of. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, send this bitch some Bud Light Seltzer, and let's move on to the next topic at the meeting. Yeah,
exactly. Does Anheuser-Busch own White Claw? Send her that. It'll be a hit. Trust me. A lot better than fucking Bud Light. Dude, they could have probably went Michelob Light or Michelob Ultra or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Bud Light. But that's what I'm saying. Is people go, the company Bud Light went woke. No, they didn't. Check their profit margins. They're not giving away their fucking money. They didn't turn into communist over fucking night. You can kiss that bullshit fucking fantasy goodbye. That was never in the fucking cards. And that's what a lot of the people don't understand. Like, I don't know. Do you think corporations are going to set up a fucking situation that brings about their own end on purpose?
The answer is no.
Now, will they inadvertently,
to their mission,
pure fuckery, bring it about? Of course they will, because that's what history tells us happens 99.9% of the time. But you can't count on that happening tomorrow, and it definitely didn't happen over the fucking Dylan dipshit fucking incident. The reason I bring this up is because there's a new Bethesda game came out, and it's a game set in like 300 years in the future, and like the Earth is uninhabitable, and they colonized different planets and shit like that. Humanity spread out all over the fucking solar system, or not solar system, but galaxy and all this other shit. And they're like, oh my God, there's like diverse people. There's people, there's black people, there's Latino people, there's Asian people, there's Indian people. And I'm like, you mean like because the planet Earth is uninhabitable and we all left the planet and scattered amongst the stars and mixed and mingled, and that's woke to you? Like, so for all the fucking knee-jerk reactions, like there is an overreaction where anytime you see anything that isn't a straight white male, you start screaming woke. That's not woke. And that is the definition, these extreme definitions. When you ask people, it seems like that's the answers they give you. Making sense, or am I just fucking rambling for no?
So what you're getting at, I guess, what are you saying for the people? Are they trying to push the wokeness, or are the people like trying to push it in a different way, like trying to say it's there when it's not? Like, are you saying it's like the? I guess what you're getting, is it like the Aziz Ansari white people where he's talking about it's like a game where white people are always trying to get extra woke points? Like, oh, look at it, it's beautiful. There's all these people in the game. Or like some people on the right trying to be like, oh, look at it, look what they're trying to do to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's two lenses you could look at your statement through.
That is what I'm getting at. Like, these are the accepted definitions, and I'm like, why? These are non-nuanced. These are fucking dumbass single-digit IQ takes on this term. That if it has anything but a white person in it, it's woke. Or if it has a white person in it, it's not woke and it's fascist. These are brain dead takes on the whole concept of woke. And by the way, we are light years away from where it fucking originated. And to go back and even try to cover that, I would need to start a new podcast. I'm not even exaggerating. People have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. None whatsoever. They think this shit is like you get people trying to say, it's black people come up with it 150 years ago. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's
a
what
bunch
I was
of fucking
say.
hippies talked about being awake, aware. Go back and look at the hippies talking about tune in, drop in, all this other bullshit. That's where this shit came from. It's been co-opted into the political fucking identity people. I'm sorry, go ahead, Jess. I just had to get that out.
No, you're fine. That's whenever you ask the question, that was kind of like my hesitance on answering is, I've seen before that I've seen a lot of definitions of the origin of the word and where it comes from and how it should be used and how it's being misused. And left is the way that I feel like it's most commonly used now, like to describe far left ideologies. But I don't, for the definition of the word, I don't know.
It's kind of what fascism turned into. It turned into basically meaning someone I don't like. Nazi before that. That's what I'm getting. Like, it's turned into, it's the original definition, intent, however you want to fucking look at it, has been so twisted. And the final two fucking answers we have is, well, it depends on what political camp you're in. And like I said, it's, to me, I'm like, I don't think, guys, am I wrong? I don't think, like, oh, this show is woke because there's a black person in it.
No.
Oh, there's a gay person. The show is woke. I don't even fucking think, oh, this show is woke, there's a trans person. Because you can go back, because surprise, internet, trans people have been around for more than the last fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't fucking know it, but they have.
Now, I will think a show is woke if it's like, there's a black person, a trans person, a gay person, a woman, a fucking Latino. You know what I'm saying? That's when it starts looking like it's a fucking a checklist on a census form, that's when I think it's woke.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's where the bullshit starts, where people, that's like somebody in Hollywood's idea of what woke is. And I'm just like, honestly, okay, if that was the lineup you just gave, if that was the lineup of a television show, if it was like a show like Friends, where the plot lines were as milquetoast and inoffensive as they were on Friends, with that lineup, and it didn't preach identity politics, it didn't talk down to white males or straight people or people that weren't them, and in their identity politic group, would you consider the show woke still?
Yes, because it looks like a census form. In 2023, yes, just because that's...
To me, I'm just like, nah.
To me, it would seem like someone sat in a fucking casting meeting and said, we got to have one of these, we got to have one of these, we got to have one of these.
See, but that's tokenization and checklist marking off. To me, that's not woke. Once again, we're talking, I guess what we're talking about is, this is the corporate idea of woke. You know what I'm saying? And people look at it and go, and so you look at it and go, oh, look, everything but a fucking white male. Shocking. I mean, to me, the term meant to be aware. It didn't have a political leaning. It wasn't used to attack or defend. It was one particular side, one particular ideology. It meant to... It
was supposed to be
how many fucking times did we hear... Become aware, wake up to the world around. Jesus Christ, there's a fucking song on Rage Against the Machine's first album where he screams, wake up, over and over. Has everyone fucking forgot that?
Yes. Most people. Rock music isn't cool anymore.
Do you think he meant...
That's dad rock now, son.
No, I know that. But do you think he meant what the modern fucking definition, modern people would put as the definition of, well, he's basically screaming for you to get woke.
Yeah.
What he was screaming about getting woke in 92 when that come out is not what the fucking people are thinking and attributing to what he meant. We know he meant this. Oh, really? Really? See, now, if we're talking about woke and culture, it's basically what you do is you take the opposite of what Hollywood has been accused of doing since their inception, which is whitewashing history, and you just blackwash history or put women in fucking... Like the BBC, they had this fucking historical drama of one of the Boleyn fucking girls or whatever the fuck. I don't know the whole story because I don't give a fuck about them limeys and their goddamn shit. But I can tell you this, none of them were black, but they all were black in the fucking show, and it's a historical drama. That's corporate wokeism. That's let's replace history, not corporate wokeism. That's wokeism in its truest form. Let's replace history and with our people and what we want to say. Am I losing you guys here? Like, I'm not talking at this point. I'm talking about the concepts of woke and how they're applied differently in different situations.
If I am just being completely honest with you, that I stopped using the term woke because it's so convoluted. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things that you're going to say it and someone's going to take it out of context. So I just don't say it because there is no just what is woke. I see what you're saying and I'm following you But like, to me, it's not even, it's not worth using the word because of how just convoluted it is.
It's like, to me, it's like Nazi and fascist. You get 10 years out from the peak of that word being thrown around willy-nilly, or these words being thrown around willy-nilly. The only people that use it are the hardcore idiots who are fucking entrenched in their ideology. And they'll never fucking get out. That's it.
Yes, exactly. Well, then on a similar degree, bigot. Bigot was a totally different thing. And now it is, you do shit I don't like.
Oh, it's like racism. The definition of racism used to be you believe that one or more races have inherent superiority over other races through sheer virtue of birth. Nope. Now it means race plus power equals racism. And black people have no power in America, so black people are always victims of racism. Even if they're in a fucking continent where they're the majority, somehow they're still the victims of white people's racism because you're a reductionist and we said so.
Yes. Well, yes. It's like, white supremacy. It used to be that, at least one of the requirements was that you had to be white.
Right.
Well, white supremacists used to have a heavy connotation. It meant you actually went to a meeting. Like you belonged to an organization. Like if you lobbied white supremacist when we were younger, it had it had some oomph behind it.
Yes. And now Kanye's a white supremacist.
Well, now because you're internalizing white supremacy.
The LA Times called somebody the black face of white supremacy during the California governor's race a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Think about that. The black face of white supremacy. The Los Angeles Times, an actual reputable, allegedly respected publication.
Well, it's not, it's not like it was the fucking Roots or the Root or whatever the fuck it was with straight black men are the straight white men of minorities. And I was like, oh my. I was like, that was something that we joked about 2 years ago on the podcast. And then we pulled the article up for real 2 years later. And I was just like, there you go. There it is. We are up our own ass 100%. Like we are in Ouroboros. We are so far up our own ass. Our asshole is eating our head. Do you not remember that article, Chris?
Oh, yeah. I remember it.
No, Jess, I swear to God. Straight black men are the straight white men of minorities. What?
Okay. That goes along with the article that Chris sent about we know what's inside the moon and it's not cheese. Cool.
Yeah. Did you read that article? That actually was like the point of that article. I was like, what? Someone wasted time on this? We've known this. We knew this before we went to the moon. Or, I'm sorry, or didn't go to the moon. Sorry for our conspiracy theorist audience.
By the way, no one has ever explained this, and I've always just assumed that, the moon is made of cheese, or the inside of the moon is nothing but cheese. It was just one of those absurdist things that people said because it was just, like, there's no way. If there's anyone who truly believes that, I need you to hunt down us on social media and send me links explaining how cheese was made on the moon and stuck in the middle of the moon without cows or atmosphere or farm or any other fucking processes that we use to make cheese here on
green cheese. The moon is made of green cheese. Wasn't that what it was?
Well, green cheese is what, like moldy cheese? Like blue cheese can have some green in it, right? It's not all blue.
That's true,
right? So, cheese is mold, right? So,
or Roquefort for fancy people.
Yeah, whatever that is. I'm not that. So yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is.
That's what you call That's what you call blue cheese dressing in a fancy restaurant. It's called Roquefort.
Sure. All I know is Joey Diaz. It's blue cheese on my wings or go fuck your mother. You know what I'm saying? That's all I know. Get that ranch shit away from me, Joe Rogan. I can't stand that shit. Oh, Christ. Anyone who listens to just Joey Diaz has got that. Everyone else is like, I don't get what he's talking
about. Dude, I was behind him at the airport once. Like 2 people behind him.
Oh, I would have had, dude, he's the type of guy I would have had to say something, and I think he'd have been cool with it.
Dude, no.
Like, I wouldn't have been a dick, but.
It was in the morning. I was high. He looked high.
He was high. Yes, He's like, Joe Rogan, I never travel anywhere with less than 500 milligrams of stars of death in me.
That's back when I was still talking to Rob. I'm like texting Rob and sending him pictures. I'm like, dude, that's fucking Joey. I'm trying to be cool about it. Like, that's fucking Joey Diaz.
Dude,
and I looked it up, and he had a show that in Detroit the previous night or that weekend. So I was like, yeah, dude, that's fucking.
You probably had 500 milligrams stars of death on him. You should have been like, yo,
Right.
man, get one of them bad boys. Shit.
Well, again, it was
Like,
at
if
the
you're gonna lose your
airport.
mind on a plane, might as well do it with Joey Diaz.
It was at the airport. Maybe not. You never know. If he did have him, they're probably in him.
Oh, that's true. Fair enough. Yeah.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through October 15th, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through October 15th, only at BJ's.
Introducing Carvana Value Tracker, where you can track your car's value over time and learn what's driving it. It might make you excited.
Whoa, didn't know my car was valued this high.
It might make you nervous.
Uh-oh, market's flooded. My car's value just dipped 2.3%.
It might make you optimistic.
Our low mileage is paying off. Our value's up.
And it might make you realistic.
Car prices haven't gone up in a couple weeks. Maybe it's time to sell.
But it will definitely make you an expert on your car's value. Carvana Value Tracker. Visit Carvana.com to start tracking your car's value today.
Well. Shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much.
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.
Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through October 15th, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through October 15th, only at BJ's.
Introducing Carvana Value Tracker, where you can track your car's value over time and learn what's driving it. It might make you excited.
Whoa, didn't know my car was valued this high.
It might make you nervous.
Uh-oh, market's flooded. My car's value just dipped 2.3%.
It might make you optimistic.
Our low mileage is paying off. Our value's up.
And it might make you realistic.
Car prices haven't gone up in a couple weeks. Maybe it's time to sell.
But it will definitely make you an expert on your car's value. Carvana Value Tracker. Visit Carvana.com to start tracking your car's value today.
Well. Shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much.
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Take it low, girl, come take it low. We can even do it slow. We can even do it slow. Take it where you wanna go. Either way you wanna go. Take that ass to the floor. Pop something, move something, shake your tail feather. Girl, come take it low.
World. I was amazed that blue cheese is called something different by people with more money than me. That's where we got derailed.
Well, no, it was me bringing up that article headline in relation to straight black men are the straight white men of minorities.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
But once again, let's just stop for a second. Ignore how ridiculous, and don't let the ridiculousness of that fucking article headline overwhelm you, and really look at what they're fucking saying. So you don't like men.
Right.
I mean, you have a problem with men. If the article was written by men about women, women would immediately, what's wrong with you? Who hurt you? Why are you like this? Am I lying, Jess?
No.
Give the same scrutiny. Here's the deal. You can't call it out if you can't even fucking spot it. I mean, it's like the meme that was put out by like Jezebel. There was like 1 of every 4 homeless people are a woman. And I'm like, wow, that's a funny way to say 75% of homeless people are men.
Yeah, right. It's my litmus test, right? Could you do it the other way?
And you notice the only co-host we ever had who had a problem with that was the one who every time you flipped around his bullshit, it made him a horrible human being. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. We've actually had co-hosts that when we flip it around, they're like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, wait. Oh, yeah, that's not cool. So, just saying.
I know. If we're truly
I'm so
talking,
tired of this flipping around, Chris.
Well, no.
Why? Because it proves you wrong?
Well, no, I'm just saying in general, if we're interested in equality, we wouldn't be writing articles like that.
There we go.
Like if we actually got a dictionary and looked up the word of equality. If it hasn't been changed, but
they've abandoned equality and now want equity. That's another one of their little fucking shit they try to pimp on you. Like, you're being pimped. Truly, you're being pimped. Read some Iceberg Slim. Apply it to what the government does to its fucking to the masses. You're being pimped. I hate to break it to you. Even the pimps in this world are being pimped. There's bigger pimps. There's always, what they say in Star Wars, there's always a bigger fish. There's always a bigger pimp.
It's true.
And the best ones sit on K Street and wear fucking suits in D.C. You can bet your ass that.
Yeah, Uncle Sam's the ultimate pimp. He always gets paid. You haven't had a job on the books in a while. The government comes finds you and goes, hey, you've managed to exist for a while and we have no record of you making any income. How's that?
Now, to go back to the question of woke, one of the things that sticks in my craw about this is the people who knee-jerkingly call everything they don't like woke. Like, we've already talked about how it dilutes the word, blah, 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 blah. But if this is the level, this is the level of discourse about a video game that this company spent 15 years making. And the most traffic, the level of discourse this game is getting is, this game sucks. This game is the best game ever. This game is woke trash. This game isn't woke enough.
So everything.
Notice the quality of the game is never talked about in any of this. Extrapolate this from this video game to almost all media for the last decade. Do you see a pattern there?
That's a good point.
Or is it just me?
That's a good point. Because
has the quality of entertainment suffered? I would say yes.
Well, I said you've made it a point on several shows to talk about how dog shit you thought the production was on several shows and movies you've seen.
And I do acquiesce to this point. I am part of those. I'm in the weird zone where I'm the generation who grew up with practical effects, the beginning of CGI, plus video games looking like they do. And all CGI on almost every film looks like a video game to me. I can spot it almost a mile away. If I can't spot CGI, I'm like, wow, that's good CGI. So when I say like the CGI sucks, maybe that's just me. I'll take that hit. But the rest of the points I've made about fucking production, the lack of fucking money being spent on writers who, I don't know, have any type of fucking life experience, have any type of point of view to tell besides what we were taught in our gender fucking studies class. Yeah. And by the way, this is something that is now my normie friends who are like, Rich, you need to shut the fuck up about this shit. They're like, wow, everything sucks. You were right, dude. And I'm just going, okay. Like, I don't even enjoy it anymore, dude. I take no pleasure in being told, you were right. Yeah, it sucks. I wish you'd have fucking listened to me 3-4 years ago, but
it's the stuff I don't want to be right about.
Well, I mean, okay, I haven't watched any Star Wars since the Book of Boba Fett with the fucking slow speed Vespa scooter chase that looked like something out of the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. And I'm going, this isn't Star Wars. This isn't even Star Wars for like kindergartners. This is for fucking retards who are clinging to life in comas. And they just put this on in the background so they're just not dying in silence. That's all this shit was. And I'm just like, I hear the stories about what people who still watch Star Wars and people are getting ran through with lightsabers and shaking it off in 10 minutes. And I'm like, didn't that kill people back in the day in Star Wars? Chris, I've seen a few Star Wars movies. I'm sure you've seen. I'm sure even Jess has seen a few Star Wars movies. If you got ran through with a lightsaber, you die.
Yeah.
Nope, not no more. Not anymore. And by the way, nobody dies except for the old characters they don't want anymore.
It's crazy.
They all die, but nobody else ever dies anymore. Apparently, this Ahsoka show, the first or second episode, her Padawan that she's training or whatever the fuck gets ran through with a lightsaber, and it's, oh my God, did they kill her? And the first shot of the next fucking episode is her getting up and just, I need to go to the infirmary, and then she's fine like a couple hours later, and in world in the show. And I'm just going, how does this get past quality control?
It's but the flesh wound.
Exactly. We went from making fun of it and it becoming a classic bit in and of itself to rip on that fucking trope in Hollywood to we're back to it with a fucking raging hard on vengeance. And what I don't understand is people just go, oh, this is fine. This is fine. This is good entertainment. I just consume whatever product I'm told to consume and wait for the next product. I don't understand that. I don't get this mentality. And I'm to the point where it's like, I knew it would spread from entertainment into other aspects of everyday life in our society. Here the fuck we are. How many fucking weeks have we talked about for months now the apathy that the average fucking person in this country feels towards everything?
Yeah.
I feel it every day. 'Cause it's just to the point where it's like, oh, whatever. You guys all worry about that. I'm going to worry about me and mine. I'll see you on the other side. It all ends in a box anyway, people. Hate to break it to you.
I can't. I understand, Chris, why, like, and believe me, that is a very attractive fucking, like, worldview to kind of, put on and be like, that's how I'm going to look at things. But I just can't keep thinking, like, okay, so your only hope is if you just go, well, everybody's just acting their own best interest. The only hope you have is you die before someone else's best interest comes and fucks you up because you got their best interest and they want it. You see what I'm saying? This is... we've removed the linchpin that was fucking order from society. And we did it in the summer of love in 2020. And we're wondering why fucking the edges are ill-defined. We don't have a center that holds. We literally go on, Jess, you're a TikToker. Go on TikTok, look up people robbing stores in broad daylight, running out.
Oh, yeah.
In some cities now, it's up to $10,000. So they're running out of fucking jewelry stores, $5,000, $6,000 worth of shit.
Well, there's grocery stores now closing. They're talking, you want to talk about food deserts and stuff. There's grocery stores closing because they can't afford to stay in business because their loss is just so high from theft.
And this is the end result of people, quote unquote, voting for their own best interest.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to keep moving north.
I mean, eventually you're going to be Canadian. You know that, right? I'm just saying. I don't know how much you like the cold, but it's really cold in Canada. Just let you like the part of Canada if you're going to keep going north. Eventually, you're going to run out of UP and you're going to be in Canada.
No, I'm just saying, get to North Oakland, Lapeer County. I can live out there, still close to civilization, but far away from all the nonsense.
Yeah, it just seems like, I don't know, no matter where you go, and I understand it's worse in larger cities, but the nonsense is everywhere, and the laws protecting the nonsense are everywhere.
Well, there's also the problem of the media is absolutely, without a fucking doubt, you argue this, you're being woefully obtuse, and we're done. I won't waste my time on you. Media is undoubtedly left-leaning.
Of course.
And that's why you never hardly hear criticism of these fucking shithole major American cities that Democrats have had a fucking stranglehold on for, what? In Detroit's case, going back to 1967?
Yeah.
How many fucking years is that now?
How's it going, Detroit? How's it going?
All right, but then there are other major American cities, not exclusively run by Democrats, where people of either party could have a chance of winning, or, oh my God, those fascist, Nazi, racist Republicans are in charge. And you don't hear the media talking about how nice of an area it is to live there. But I have friends who've moved to those cities, and you know what they say? It's fucking wonderful here. We don't have time. As someone on YouTube has coined the term, these cities and their police departments don't have time for your ununemployed behavior. And
I was going to say, I got to
move. They're nice
me,
places to live.
I was going to say before you said all this, I got to move me to one of them towns like Jason Aldean talks about.
Find you a small town.
One of those towns where you try some nonsense there that people in the town go, oh, really? Rich, kind of like the neighborhood you lived in Detroit, Rich.
No, go ahead.
Well, just no. Didn't you say when you first moved in, somebody came to the door and pretty much said, "Hey, this is how it goes around here."
Oh no, I went to the door. We were loading shit into the house, and Mr. Washington and two other people from the neighborhood, who I forget their names, walked right over and were like, "So who's the one who's actually renting the house? The man of the house?" My buddy raised his hand. He's like, "This is my brother from another mother." Blah 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 blah. And they're like, "Okay, here's the deal. Don't think you're gonna move in here and act white boy stupid or turn this into a drug den. This is a nice neighborhood, and we're gonna keep it nice, and we don't call the cops." And it was like, cool. And they established immediately they meant that, because it wasn't too long after someone tried to break into the homeboy across the street's work truck, and he leaned out the fucking second story window with a 40 cal and put 5 in the ground near the guy's feet and said, "I won't miss next. Get the fuck out of here." And that was the end of it. It was done and over with. As far as I know, there was never any problem with anybody breaking in anybody's car. What, 2 years I lived in that neighborhood. So that's what happens when you take care of your own. This is what you've been told is horrible. By the way, these are black people in a fucking Democratic stronghold city. And they'll be the first ones to tell you, we need more police and we need more guns in the hands of law-abiding citizens. But you won't see that on the news.
A couple of years ago, I don't think he's not the police chief anymore, but the police chief of Detroit was telling people, "Hey, go out, get more guns."
Yep.
Like, we don't have enough police right now. Citizens, arm yourselves.
They flat out. Do you know what it takes? They're trying to fucking get them, like, shame them and make them fucking grovel and shit. And with some gotcha journalism, they're like, "Do you know that the average response time for a homicide in the city of Detroit is 2 hours?" And he goes, "Yeah, because we're overworked, understaffed, and we have morons in this city who want to get rid of us. It's going to take us 2 hours to respond to a call for of that level. So arm yourself, protect yourself. If we can't do it, you need to do it." And he was demonized. And I'm just going, that's just being pragmatic. That's just being realistic and honest about the situation.
Yeah,
that's all.
I am not one at all. Y'all know me and y'all have heard me talk. I am not one at all to promote any sort of, like, go out and be violent, right? Go do something. But if your police can't protect you, you do have to be able to protect yourself. That's just life.
But you got to understand, Jess, is that you're dealing with people who've had such sheltered, protected lives. They can't comprehend something horrible happening to them where they would have to protect themselves, because they've always been protected and coddled by mommy, daddy, the school system, whatever the fuck.
But even with that, I don't know what people think. Like, if you are in a bad situation where you need to be able to protect yourself, do you think you can look at someone about to, like, mug you at gunpoint and be like, "Hold on, let me call the police first so this is a fair fight," okay?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it happens quickly.
You know, like most people, you get mugged, then call the cops.
Right, but, like, I've never understood.
Unless you're carrying.
Yes, exactly.
Give me all your money. No, give me all your money.
It's like that meme where, like, somebody called, like, the guy's walking up with the gun to the old man, or excuse me, with the knife to the old man, and the old man's like, "Somebody needs to call an ambulance, but not for me." And he turns around, he's got a fucking 44. It's like, oh god damn, what up, Grandpa? Dirty Harry style. Okay, shit.
No, and truly and honestly, like I said, I condone no violence. None at all. That is not what I am here for. I am very much so. We should all be able to get along, but I'm not getting along with you if you're trying to hurt me. And I also know that it takes a minute for police to get to you. Like, I'm being mugged in a city I'm not completely familiar with. Where are you? I'm on the phone with police. Hold on, Mr. Mugger. Let me go find a road sign. Like, I don't, like, be prepared to take care of yourself in whatever way that may be.
Can I just say something? If you're in a part of town where you're getting mugged on the street like that, street signs are probably either tore down or turned around to fucking to throw the cops off when they're running from them, because that's what they do in the hood. Sorry. Hey, once you deliver in the hood, you learn the streets, and you go, I don't even trust them street signs, even if they're there. So I'm just saying.
Broad daylight, yeah, Jesus Christ. Get the fuck out of there.
But no, I mean, but that's It's a valid point, because even in the most ritzy, bitchy, fucking bougie ass Sadiddy committee fucking neighborhood you could think of, it's going to take them 5-10 minutes to get there. End of fucking unless there's one. Outside of luck of the draw, a cop on just random patrol or driving within a mile of you, he can maybe get there in under 5 minutes. But I'm talking from now. Let's from the minute you hit send and your call is picked up from the dispatcher to him being there. If they're a mile away, maybe 5 minutes. That can happen in 5 minutes.
I mean, truly and honestly, think of the not just the terror that could happen in 5 minutes, but how far away they could be and in what direction.
Well, I worked a job where I did alarm response for commercial industries, and we had in Metro Detroit, we had 4 nests that a security guard sat at, and we waited to get dispatched at if they had alarms going off, and we'd have to go to the business, go through, clear the building. If the police were there, we would do it with the police. If not, we did it by ourselves, et cetera, et cetera. We had priority clients who paid obscene amounts of money for us to be there, and the quickest we could guarantee, as quick as possible, and the quickest we could guarantee is 10 minutes. And when we got one of those calls, you hit the road fucking running. You know what I'm saying? There was no bullshit. There was no stopping, no fucking, fuck your seatbelt, fuck all that shit. Go. Get there. Because 99% of the time, the client's going to be there waiting for you. So you see what I'm saying? That's private security. Mm-hmm. I hate to say this, we were a lot more fucking responsible to our clients than the police are to the community. And we still couldn't beat 10 minutes.
Yeah. I know, and people really do just live under this delusion that the police are there, so don't worry.
People live under the delusion that this can't all come to an end in one fucking flash of a goddamn solar flare.
Well.
And by the way, we had one that would have cooked all of us back to the fucking 1700s. We had one in the late 1800s. And we just didn't have shit for it to burn out. Like the 5 streetlights that they had in New York burnt out. They replaced them. But yeah, go look that up. You want to get lost down that fucking Google hole. Have fun. And then sleep tight, because that can happen at any second. There ain't nothing you can do about it. But tell me about how much control you have in your life. And how control is not an illusion. But that's a little philosophical for this podcast.
I read a book it was about an EMP, but it does the same thing that a solar flare will do, right? Just basically.
Electromagnetic pulse fries everything.
Right.
Yeah, just.
We've played video games, we're aware. That
book was terrifying. I finished that book and I'm like, well, shit, I think I might be a prepper now. I can't. Where do I start? And then I lost all motivation. But the stuff that would happen if any sort of if our grid goes completely down.
It would be Mad Max times, for real.
They predict that 90% of people would die within the first year.
Oh, yeah. Especially the quote unquote civilized parts of the world. People don't realize that Twinkies don't grow in the ground, and ground beef don't just pop up out of the fucking ether for you to cook up and serve to your family. I don't think the average person without the internet could figure out how to get the most basic of basic gardens going in their backyard.
Ted Nugent would be a king.
Well, hold on. Because, Jess, I'm dead serious. I think certain, maybe 25 and under are probably the most prone for this. They wouldn't even know how to use a library even if they were fucking led to one.
No, well, I mean, and I think I told you guys about this, where they did this study, and it was an astronomically high number of people under the age of 25 couldn't figure out how to use a can opener, a manual can opener. 30%, they were handed a manual can opener, and I'm pulling that number out of my ass, but it was a high number.
It was enough for you to be like, really? You should be able to just look at it and be like, and just suss it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This looks like it could go there. This looks like it could go there.
Yeah, yes. And they could not do it. So, yeah, you have the basic lack of survival skills. You have people having no idea what to do with any sort of hazardous waste. And that could be from, what do you do whenever you can't just flush your toilet anymore? And what do you do whenever people die? What do you do with them?
I bet
and
you
what
there's people that don't even know what direction you would try. Well, how do you know what way to go?
Yeah.
What do you mean the sun rises in the east and sets in the west? I thought the sun just does whatever the sun wants to do. We're spinning around it, right? So it can't always be rising in the east and the west. And that's when you go, what colleges have you been accepted to?
Dude, there are people, I guarantee you now, in their 20s, possibly pushing 30, that could not read an analog clock.
Oh, I know for a fact. I've worked with, and they would be near 30 now. Yeah. And they were in their early to mid 20s, roughly 10 years ago. So, yeah, they'd be well into their 30s.
That's not their fault. They didn't have them.
I recently heard a story about somebody at my job handing somebody else handwritten instructions on how to do something, and the person took the paper, looked at it for like an uncomfortably long period of time with a very blank look on their face and said, I can't read this because it was in cursive. They'd never seen it before. I don't know if that's a factual story or if someone's exaggerating. I'm kind of scared to find out.
I'm not sure schools teach cursive. Well, never mind. You homeschool. You would be a bad person to ask, Jess. But I'm not sure schools teach cursive anymore. I'm really not.
I think the equivalent would be like didn't they used to teach shorthand in school? And if they tried to teach us shorthand, or like they showed us shorthand when we were in school, we'd have been like, the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what that is. That's not. That looks like somebody who's leaving out a bunch of fucking words and letters trying to write. What the fuck is going on there? They have a stroke?
Yeah, like I don't know if cursive is like a thing anymore. I know these motherfuckers can type.
Yeah, that's the other. I mean, you can't compete with a fucking 15-year-old who can type fucking 200 words a minute with his thumbs. It's like, yeah, okay, but that's the world still doesn't work on you typing with your thumbs. If you watch the Boondocks, you know the type of technology they call that.
Sure, the N-word's involved.
It absolutely is. It's N-word technology. That's what they call it in the Boondocks. They're like flat out, like there ain't nothing any N-words ever typed out with his thumbs been worth reading. I was like, God damn, I don't even go that hard against texting shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he went hard. All right.
Well, at the time it was new.
Well, I mean, it's like in the list of Aaron Magruder, creator of the Boondocks, by the way, of shit he hates, it goes BET, Tyler Perry, texting. And I mean, that's just the most random three things to hate. Maybe the first two are related, but yeah. Anyways. All right. Sorry I got us off on that tangent. Anything else we got?
I don't. Those were the ones that we had talked about in the pre-show that we wanted to touch on.
Well, we got 2 hours. I think we, speaking of thumbs, let me scroll back and look. Make sure we didn't miss any. Yeah, there's a couple things. Russell Brand.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It don't look good for Homeboy.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say from just a completely third party point of view, I might have to vote guilty off of what I've heard so far. I mean, I haven't heard all the evidence, but if I was on a jury and this was all the evidence and I'm like, that's it. I mean, bro, you apologized for raping her. But he didn't use the term rape. I get that, but
or did he apologize?
That's not dog. That's literally like, I'm sorry. You know how I am when I want my way. All
right, so I'm just gonna keep riding the horse that I rode with when I sent this to you guys. I mean, we've played some of his videos, right? Like he's definitely in the grand scheme of things, he could be pissing off a group of people you don't want to piss off, right? And this is definitely our society's now Scarlet A is being accused of things like this. Now, yeah, the more I read details, I'm like, yikes. However, I will pose this question. What time frame on this? 2006 to 2013, correct? How did it miss the whole Me Too thing? That was like 2017, 2018. It's the most recent of these events is like 4 years removed from when the whole Me Too wave starts. He gets through all of that.
Do you remember when we were talking about Steven Tyler and the lawsuit or the whatever was coming back because they raised the statute of limitations for historic sex acts.
Yeah, in California, yes.
Is that where this happened? And is that still going on? Because
No, this is
As far as I know, this is in England.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe I don't know that because did y'all see that where Danny Masterson also got in trouble for the same thing? He got sentenced for 30 to life.
Yeah, that's been going on. Dude, that whole thing's been going on for like 15, 20 years, that whole trial. That's, if you've looked into that thing's been going on a crazy... Scientology has enough money to stall a case for that long.
Okay. So it was just the sentencing then, and that's where I didn't know the trial went on so long. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't know if it was stalled for 20 years, but it's been stalled for probably at least a decade, I think. And if you need any proof that if you're guilty and you're afraid to go into court and you have money, you can put some shit off. Danny Masterson, R. Kelly. How long that R. Kelly shit stay up in the air? Almost 20 fucking years. And I bet you he went broke on lawyers keeping that shit up in the air.
Oh, yeah. There was plenty of good drops from that Gayle King interview of him talking about.
Going back to the Russell Brand. Because I want to talk about the text messages. Because I feel like the way I've read it, and I skimmed it, that it could have been taken a different way.
Okay, so continue to blame the victim. In what way?
Okay. I'm pulling up the text messages so I can read them.
No, I just want to say this. Let's not forget that one of these alleged victims went to a fucking rape center, had a rape kit done on her the next day, like less than 12 hours after the encounter.
Are you talking? I'm talking about Russell Brand. Are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I only know of the one girl. I didn't know there was
Why no police?
There's 4 different women who've made accusations.
If you had enough wherewithal to go next day, why no police? Why not take the next step?
That's what I don't know.
Okay.
That's why I said with the information I have, it doesn't look good for him because I think, I might have my timeline wrong, but I think he was working for Channel 4 for the BBC when the incident with this chick who went to the rape crisis center happened.
That is correct. That's what I've heard as well.
Okay, so if that's the case, let's not act like, especially in the media, corporate media won't fucking do whatever they can to sweep some shit under the rug, especially if it's a popular presenter who sells lots of advertising, which Russell Brand was at that point. That's the problem with this. Like, my gut tells me if there's a cover-up, that's the cover-up. But I have no proof of it.
Like I said, I'm totally in the dark beyond just the one girl with the text messages.
And I guess the other point I'll make too is he came out first.
What?
He broke the story first.
Because he got news that it was going to be burned. It was a whole thing with a bunch of comedians. It wasn't just him. And I wouldn't know that except it was a little blip on my TikTok that popped up.
I just think, but, I said the stuff looks damning, but look, if you look at all the stuff he's been talking about lately on his YouTube channel and on Rumble or whatever, the people he's been going after, the points he made about COVID and Pfizer and stuff like that, I mean, is it out of the realm of possibility that here comes, would the people he's going after not have the resources to launch some type of smear campaign like this?
Well, I mean, okay, right off the bat, I think okay, fuck it. I can't speak for Jess. I think me and you, though, Chris, I think we know each other well enough to know that, yeah, we can totally believe there's a smear campaign because he's speaking out against the wrong or right things, depending on how you look at it, I guess.
Yeah, he went after Big Pharma. Those motherfuckers got deep pockets. I mean, look,
but you also
have bought the U.S. government.
You also have taken into consideration that after the whole Me Too thing, we've gotten very willy-nilly with what constitutes rape, sexual assault, etc. I've had conversations with women who I have immense respect for, and the shit coming out of their mouth, I'm like, wait a minute. Basically, you just said that if you fuck a guy and he ain't any good and you don't come and you regret it the next morning, that it's okay for you to say that, well, you really didn't want it and you didn't give enthusiastic consent. So that's somewhere on the sexual assault spectrum. And they'll go, no bones or qualms about it.
Garrison Keillor had to quit a Prairie Home Companion because he put his hand on somebody's back. But yet, that's the one thing that just doesn't make sense to me. And Russell Brand made it through all that. He made it through 2017 and 2018 with all this stuff hanging out there.
So but do you get what I'm saying? I'm sitting here trying to, without my personal bias about Russell Brand, one way or the other, affecting me. I'm trying to see both sides of the fucking issue, and I can't. And to be honest with you, if I don't know how the law is across the pond, but if it's to the point where it's like, well, what's their legal definition of sexual assault? The victim says she feels she was sexually assaulted. Okay, well, then that's sexual assault. Legally, does he have a leg to stand on?
Well, no, there was an argument whenever I was looking up the Danny Masterson stuff where someone was like, they had no evidence except for the woman's testimony. To which I saw a person reply, a woman's testimony is evidence. And I'm like, oh, shit.
So, but this goes back to automatically, okay, fuck it. Jess, do you see what's going on here? Because if you do, call it out. Call it out. Don't make me a misogynist. You call it out.
Well, I mean, what a woman says goes. If she says if she felt that way, you're guilty, period.
I mean,
This isn't a trans woman saying this, folks.
Well, I mean, it's true.
She was born with a vagina.
I mean,
not a man-made.
I mean, we could get into it, but Jess would be the odd man out. I mean, there's a local story going around here right now. Rich, have you been following Mel Tucker at all?
A little bit, but not a whole lot. Give the broad strokes for the listeners.
Oh boy, because there's a lot of moving parts.
Well, it's real simple. We'll do this.
Yeah.
He is the coach for the time being, unless they've officially fired him. Yet.
They initiated procedures yesterday to start firing him.
That's what I said, because because they're doing the process of firing him. It's drawn out, so he might still legally be an employee, but yeah, he was the head coach of MSU football.
Yeah, but he's getting fired over a phone sex. Basically, a phone sex call that lasted 40 minutes. But there's a ton of things we could get into that one. But yeah, so that wasn't even in the room, and guy's gonna lose $80 million load. Hope it was worth it. Hope he had $80 million orgasm. But yeah, he's lost his job. He's going to lose $80 million because somebody on the other end of a phone for 40 minutes said they were uncomfortable. Saying all that to say that, Jess, that's exactly right, what you just said. Wasn't even in the room with him, could have hung up, but I was uncomfortable, and the end.
Okay, so, and let's just for a second hit pause on this subject and go back to like what we were talking about earlier, where how aspects that happen in parts of society bleed over into other parts of society. Here we are. How muddy are these waters that we're treading right now? I'd say they're about 3 inches deep and we can't even see our feet. That's how fucking muddy they are. But yeah. Okay, unpause. Back to the subject.
Yeah. That's a good point to make.
Here's the deal. I never hear a sexual assault case I want it to be true. Meaning I never hear like, boy, I hope that they really got the shit sexually assaulted out of them. I hope that person really got sexually assaulted.
What's up, Larry Nassar?
No, just air hole them, dude. Just kill them. You don't got to fuck them. Just kill them. I mean, seriously, dude. I'm sorry, man. Despite what Nas says in Get Down, that's some gay shit. These motherfuckers like, some crazy gangsters catch their enemies, fuck them in their ass. Yo, bro, they're gay. That's just gay with extra steps. If I'm really mad at you, my instinct is not to fuck you first. It's just to beat the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, sorry.
I'm saying let the gay guys have their way with Larry. Take from him what he took all those years from other people. Oh, you like that?
Throw him to the AB. The Aryan Brotherhood won't be polite. Gay dudes might be too fucking easy on him. AB they'll turn his ass out, and he'll wish that he. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't. How fucked up is that? They were like, "Oh, you raped a bunch of people. I hope the same thing happens to you." Wow, dude, that's kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because you're basically saying you hope a bunch of fucking rapists commit a crime. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. I get what you're saying.
That's a me issue.
No, because at the same time, I'm like, like we've talked about before, death penalty. I don't know how I feel about it, but I know this. If somebody's like walks into a police station and drops a bag full of heads and says, I'm crazy, I kill people, that's what I do, I'm good at it, you would have never caught me if I hadn't walked in here and dropped this bag full of heads, and if you let me out, I'll continue to kill people. Cool, stick him in his electric chair, let's go.
Yeah, let's kill that guy. Yeah.
I have no qualms with that. A motherfucker walks into a police station, says, I've been sniffing boys' booty holes for all my life, and I'm going to do it to the day I die, put that motherfucker in the electric chair. I got no problem with that. But somebody catches their wife fucking their best friend, and they pop a cap in both of them, man, you got to do some time, but don't kill them. Just saying.
No, I agree there, but no, yeah, but if you're someone like fucking, like, if you're like a serial killer, you got to go.
Yeah, especially if you unapologetic and admit the shit.
And I'm saying, and what I'm saying,
I'm crazy. Well, I'm crazy too. Pull the switch.
And I guess what I'm getting at with Nasser, he was serial about it, right? So
I guess it's just, dude, it's just
they should go serial on his booty hole.
The thing is, it's like we just need to find one irredeemable prison rapist, the Booty Bandit. Remember the Booty Bandit?
No,
I like you, I want you. Now we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Boondocks made an episode where they goofed on him, where he shows up to meet Chris Hansen, and he's like, I ain't here for no 14-year-old boy. I'm here for man-ass Chris Hansen. He's like, sorry, what'd you call me? I calls you Chris Handsome because you handsome. Now, I like you, and I want you. Now, we do this the easy way or the hard way. But we're not doing this any way at all. I see you chose the hard way. You don't remember this episode?
No.
Oh my God, the Booty Bandit episode. And it's based on a real dude from the Lockup series where he's like, when a new guy comes in, I look at him and I like your booty and I want it. Now you can give it to me the easy way or the hard way. And he's just that dude, stick Larry Nasser in a cell with that dude for the rest of his life. Because that dude's an irredeemable rapist. You know what I'm saying? He's so fine. You like rape, Nasser? There you go. You're going to get all the rape you can handle, bro. Like that type of guy, yeah. But I don't know. It just seems weird. Like, I don't want to create more rapists to prove a point to Nasser. You know what I'm saying? That's where I guess it's like I just picture like someone like they're like 12th in line to go up in his ass, and they're just like, I'm having moral qualms about this, guys. I don't think. They're like, motherfucker, this is not no after school special. You better do this shit. This is prison, or else you next.
The booty warrior, Fleece Johnson.
Yes, Fleece Johnson.
There's a Boondocks wiki.
Of course there is, yeah. Somewhere, our one listener who watched the Boondocks was loving that. I'm telling you, they were loving it. They were like, yeah! Now, you remember the one with the date with the health inspector where Tom's afraid of going to prison and getting raped?
Yes.
You remember that one? Okay, yeah. This was kind of like a spiritual successor to this one because Tom ends up in prison with Fleece Johnson. I think you need to look up that episode of the Boondocks and check it out, man. I'm telling you, I think you missed a season somewhere in there because there's 4 seasons and most people only think there's 3. So,
I have 3 on DVD. Maybe this was the 4th season.
It might be, yeah. I had the first 3 on DVD as well, and I never got the 4th one on DVD because life happened. and carrying around DVDs stopped being important because I needed to carry around other shit that I actually needed to live.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like a DVD player, you can have it, bro. Enjoy the Boondocks episodes, guys.
Well, now I got all these DVDs. What the fuck would I play them?
See, I never had that problem because I've always had an old-ass fucking, or a console that plays them. But now they make consoles without disc drives. So you can't even, it's like all you can do is download a game digitally and play it. You can't put a disc in and watch a movie or anything. I kind of have a problem with them charging $700 for, a gaming system with all the accoutrements that come with it. And I can't fucking put a goddamn disc in there that I own.
It's essentially a portal to the internet. Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically it's basically an overpowered modem that I connect to the internet and use their fucking cloud. And I hope the game I bought, they keep the cloud server going because the minute it goes down, I no longer own that game. Especially if it is the type of game where you have to have an online connection for it to turn on, which are most games these days. But that's another podcast altogether.
All right. We're bitching about video games, and we were talking about Russell Brand. So
we're in the entertainment industry still.
Yeah, I think we're done. Is what I'm getting at.
Oh, by the way, I'll just throw this out there. If there's any Jimi Hendrix fans in the audience, this has actually excited me, and I haven't been excited about anything Jimi Hendrix in decades. They found a show from 1967 that not one note of has ever been fucking heard by the general public, and it's from 2 weeks before he released his album, his debut album, and it's in California. And I'm like, when that bootleg comes out, I will track down, I will go to whatever record store, wherever the fuck I have to get the physical copy of that, so I own that shit. So I'm just throwing that out there. I thought that was cool because it's like, the man's been gone for over 50 years, and we thought we'd heard everything at this point. And there's like, no, there's a whole fucking like board recording, professional recording of it that no one's ever leaked.
You know what's crazy is you now live in a world where you could listen to it on the way to buying it.
Yeah, if I wanted to pay for it twice, but Jimi Hendrix is only getting my money once. I'm not doing that. I'm going to buy the digital and the physical copy.
But you don't have a streaming service?
Oh, do they let they only let certain Hendrix shit on streaming services as far as I knew a couple of years ago. They would like that's another podcast all in itself. Let's just say this, that as of like 5 years ago, that was still all up in the air as far as the court case and the rights with his sister Janie and his brother.
Oh, I think the checks finally got big. And oh yeah, I mean, I'm opening my YouTube Music. He's got his own page. Most popular song is All Along the Watchtower, Hey Joe, Purple Haze.
Like, I couldn't find anything but basically like his greatest hits on any streaming service or on YouTube. That would stay up for more than like a week or two before it got taken down, it seemed like.
Oh, you want Jimi Hendrix, Carlos Santana? Winterland, Cry of Love, Electric Ladyland, Access Bold as Love, Are You Experienced, Los Angeles Forum, Live in Maui.
See, but here's what irritates me, because Winterland, I had that fucking double cassette bootleg. Well, official live release bootleg, whatever the fuck they wanted to call it. And it's different. Because if it's the same streaming, when I looked into the track list and the streaming, it's different versions of it. And I'm like, so I'm just shit out of luck. I could never get the same version I had a physical copy of. So, I mean, it's a small
of these are from October 10th, 68 on this one. Then there's 10, 11. Like, this Winterland has fucking 41 tracks on it.
And that's like, okay, then that's the one I was looking for. Okay, well, then if they have that on the streaming services, all right. I never knew you could stream entire box sets or entire deluxe versions of albums on a streaming service. But to be honest with you, I've only been streaming music a whole lot in the last year. And I'm still like, I use Yahoo Music because I have a Yahoo, not Yahoo Music, YouTube Music, because I have a YouTube, whatever the premium account is.
Well, that's what I'm looking at it on, is YouTube Music.
Dude, 2 weeks ago, I tried to look up fucking Jimi Hendrix Machine Gun on YouTube. And all I could find was like covers of it with people doing it in their home. Or someone recording a fucking record player of it playing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
you were on YouTube, not YouTube
proper
Music.
Instead of YouTube Music. Yeah, okay. And we found out that I am now stupid when it comes to this shit. I know old man yells at cloud, but man, I'm very fucking like streaming. Okay, fine, whatever. But like, I'm not buying any digital shit as far as music anymore. I did that on Google, 5-6 years ago, and then didn't fucking apparently didn't log into or not Google, but Amazon, excuse me, that's what I meant to say. Bought some shit on Amazon, didn't log into my Amazon account enough for them, so they reset my account, and they were like, yeah, well, we're sorry, give us your phone number. And I'm like, well, I've changed phone numbers since the original account. Well, you've lost everything that was on that account. No, I didn't, because I've bought like $300 worth of music, and at least probably about $50 worth of fucking movies.
No, that's why I just stream it now, because exactly what you're just saying.
And that's the last goddamn fucking penny the music industry is getting out of me for the shit I bought. Because I was like, I bought cassettes, I bought CDs, and now I'm buying the digital version. And if I really liked it, I bought multiple copies of the cassettes because I wore them fuckers out. And probably multiple copies of the CD because I lost them or they got stolen. Wow. Yeah. It was like a zit. I didn't realize that pus and that zit went down that deep. Boy, I am not a fan of this shit. But dude, that irritated me, because how the fuck are you just going to look at me and be like, oh, because you changed phones, you just lost all of the fucking money you spent on the shit on our fucking website. And I have no recourse? Okay.
Sounds like a grift to me.
You know what they had the balls to tell me? Well, we'll give you a free month of Amazon Prime. Oh, that's mighty Caucasian of you. I appreciate that.
Gee, thanks, mister.
You mean you're going to take the sandpaper off your dick before you stuff it up my ass? Gee, Mr. Rapist, thank you.
But dip it in lube, too, so slide right in.
Yeah, the lube is icy hot, but yeah.
There it is, Jess. You thought we were going to get away.
That wasn't a dick joke. That was a sodomy joke. You're splitting hairs to fit a narrative here.
Well, I talked about lubing it up. There's no pressure. You're not thinking about a glistening dick. There it is. There.
See, you brought it back around.
Yeah. At Gen Exhausted Pod on all social media. That's how you find the show. ChristopherMedia.net, or you can hit the Amazon banner if you'd like to help out with some commerce and ratings and reviews. I checked out our ratings. Well, there's some. It's not as many as I would like. We're averaging 5 stars, so let's keep a good thing going. If you can rate and review the show, please and thank you. It helps other people find the show. So I appreciate you listening, and we'll catch you next time.
All right, later.
See ya.
We do it for fun. We just do it for fun. Dirty ENT. We do it dirty. Bad boy. Nelly, Diddy, Murphy, Lee. This is history, baby. We do it for fun. Come on now, and the bad play it on. I see you, Kuda. Bad Boys 2, the soundtrack. Let's go. Yeah. Who your name is? Where you from? Turn around. Who you came with? Is that your ass or your mama have reindeer? I can't explain it, but damn, so glad you came here. I'm still a sucker for corn. No, I never changed that. Your body is banging, mama, but where your brains at? Still the same cat when I was young. I'm running with bad boys. But now I'm older, rockin' solar, running with bad boys. Here come another man, unlike no other man. Candy coated, switching every other lane. Y'all help me, won't you please help me? 8th girl this week, and it's only Tuesday. I like the cocky, bow-legged ones, like white and Dominicans, Hispanics and Asians. We shaking for Nelly's son. Manolos, Mano-nos, I can't tell. Everybody and they with just when you do it right. Take it low, girl, don't take it low. We can even do it slow. We can even do it slow. Either way you wanna go, either way you wanna go. Take that ass to the floor. Hop something, move something, shake your tail feather. Girl, don't take it low. We can even do it slow. We can even do it slow. Either way you wanna go, either way you wanna go. Take that ass to the floor. Hop something, move something, shake your tail. And real girls get down on the floor. Now get that money, honey, act like you know. Mama, I like how you dance, the way you fit in them pants into the flow. Take it low, girl, do it again. You know I love that. Now where them girls at? It's Diddy, Murphy, Lee, and Nelly. How you love that? Come on, we got another one, player. From New York to the dirty, how they loving it, play. Baby, you impressive, let's get to know each other. You the best of the best, and you gotta love it in the dress. It's the sexiest. I had to tell her she's a young Janet Jackson, live and living color. Look at mama, you're dead wrong for having them pants on. Caprice cut low, so when you shake it, I see a thong. My pockets full of dough, shaking feathers to the moon. And it's Bad Boy and Nelly, man, somebody better want him. Yeah. We can even do it slow. Either way you wanna go, either way you wanna go. Take that ass to the floor. Hop something, move something, shake your tail feather. Girl, go and take it low. We can even do it slow. We can even do it slow. Either way you wanna go, either way you wanna go. Take that ass to the floor. Hop something, move something, shake your tail feather. Oh no, I heard them bad boys coming. Can't stop now. Gotta continue my running, yeah. Cause we gon' party till the lights come on. And then my song stop, fuck it, cause my mic's still on. Yo, I'm the big booty type, I like them thick with they mind right. Banging personality, compensate when the time right. I'm not hard, I got women to handle that. They be like, he the man when I'm really a Thundercat. Come on, you know the tits connect like Voltron. Collect so much grass, Popo thinking we molons. My co-hons don't match that, but it matches her hair. Rapping the seats that I got in the lap. I'm just a juvenile, cause I be about G's. Keep the women wheezy, man, they say they have my babies. I'm young like Turk, I like that cash and that money. I'ma eat my money, man, I'm that damn hungry. I'm starving like Marvin, girl. Begging my pardon. I got 16 bars of fire, is what I'm starving. Plus my rats come in packs like Sammy and Dean Martin. And I got so many keys, you think I'm ballet. But see and get it low, girl, go and take it low. We can even do it slow. We can even do it slow. Either way you wanna go, either way you wanna go. Take that ass to the floor. Hop something, move something, shake your tail feather. Girl, go and take it low. We can even do it slow. We can even do it slow. Either way you wanna go, either way you wanna go. Take that ass to the floor. Hop something, move something, shake your tail feather. till the lights come on. And then my song stop fucking cause my mic's still on, man. Yeah. Bad Boy, Dirty Entertainment collaboration. Bad Boys 2 soundtrack. We see you. Girl, come on, take it low. We can even do it slow. We can even do it slow. Either way you wanna go. Either way you wanna go. Take that ass to the floor. Pop something, move something, shake your tail feather. Girl, come on, take it low. We can even do it slow. We can even do it slow. Either way you wanna go. Either way you wanna go. Take that ass to the floor. Pop something, move something, shake your tail feather. Girl, come on, take it low. We can even do it slow. We can even do it slow.
Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through October 15th, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through October 15th, only at BJ's.
Introducing Carvana Value Tracker, where you can track your car's value over time and learn what's driving it. It might make you excited.
Whoa, didn't know my car was valued this high.
It might make you nervous.
Uh-oh, market's flooded. My car's value just dipped 2.3%.
It might make you optimistic.
Our low mileage is paying off. Our value's up.
And it might make you realistic.
Car prices haven't gone up in a couple weeks. Maybe it's time to sell.
But it will definitely make you an expert on your car's value. Carvana Value Tracker. Visit Carvana.com to start tracking your car's value today.
Well. Shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much...
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through October 15th, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through October 15th, only at BJ's.
Introducing Carvana Value Tracker, where you can track your car's value over time and learn what's driving it. It might make you excited.
Whoa, didn't know my car was valued this high.
It might make you nervous.
Uh-oh, market's flooded. My car's value just dipped 2.3%.
It might make you optimistic.
Our low mileage is paying off. Our value's up.
And it might make you realistic.
Car prices haven't gone up in a couple weeks. Maybe it's time to sell.
But it will definitely make you an expert on your car's value. Carvana Value Tracker. Visit Carvana.com to start tracking your car's value today.